Hey everybody, now I promised a Halo MCC video talking about the development, everything that went on behind the scenes, and did Microsoft push out a game that truly wasn't ready. When Halo MCC launched all the way back in November of 2014, it was pretty much dead on arrival. I don't say that lightly, it was probably one of the worst video game launches that has ever happened. There was promises of dedicated servers. When the game actually came out, there was no dedicated servers. In fact, one player was host, and they could actively boot people from the game. Not only that, but instead of it being 5v5, games would launch as 6v4s, 7v3s, or people just wouldn't load in at all. There was a huge controversy where people couldn't even play matchmaking. They would be stuck searching for hours and hours and hours. Even after 15 updates to try and fix the issue, it was still happening. It really was dark times indeed. Now you might be wondering, Remy, why couldn't people play matchmaking online? And the way it worked, and you couldn't actually see it, is say one person looked for a game and it connected to a couple people, but didn't visibly say connected yet. If one of those people that it connected to and put you into a lobby with actually backed out back to the menu, it would break the lobby for everyone. So everyone would just continue searching, they would have no idea that someone has actually left the lobby, and it would never fill up to the proper 8 or 10 players. This meant the best way to find a game was to consistently restart the search so you could find matches quickly. Funnily enough, on Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, if you have trouble finding games and you don't find a game within say 1 minute, this still works today. On Halo Infinite, I found if I don't find a game and I restart the search every couple of minutes, I have a much better chance of finding a match. Now, whenever I've spoken about Halo MCC or even Halo Infinite launching in an unfinished state, I've always felt like it's been more Microsoft than 343. I'm never going to blame the devs that work day to day super hard, almost given an impossible task with an unrealistic deadline, and then people wonder why the game launched in an unfinished way. There's only so much they can do with the resources they have, and they have to do their best to get it out on time. And that honestly seems like the case with MCC. Paul Russell, an ex-Bungie dev, and Marty O'Donnell had a podcast. In it, they talk about an ex-Bungie employee who went to 343 called Stefan Stinkler. And apparently what he was saying was when Microsoft came to 343 with the idea of the Halo MCC, they would need years, yes years, to get the project where it needed to be. Apparently he was throwing his arms up saying, danger, danger, we need more time. I'm going to cut to the podcast clip now so you guys can see for yourselves.
Marty, you should have Stefan Sinclair on sometime and ask him about his experience with the MCC, because he's got some really juicy stories to tell about that.
Where was he? Did he come up for that?
He was working on 343 had, they said, this is what we want to do. And Stefan was in charge of making that happen. And right off the bat, he was just like, you're never going to ship this on time. We need years to make what you want to happen.
Oh, wow.
Everything that went wrong with the initial release of that game was something Stefan was just warning, waving his hand saying, danger, danger. But he knows the details of why everything went wrong.
Stefan, another unsung hero of the early Halo development days. He was.
Hey, I'm going to give you Stefan Sinclair trivia here.
So if you have a 343 developer saying, danger, danger, this game isn't ready, Microsoft should not have forced it out. And from that one decision sparked so many issues with the Master Chief Collection. Not finding games, all the terrible bugs, and then all the band-aid fixes for the next 3 to 4 years, that on a foundational level, there was so much wrong. People were so excited for these games to come out. I still remember when it was first announced. It felt like Christmas, the Master Chief Collection, all the games I grew up with as a kid on one game, on a new console. It was gonna be amazing. And then the disappointment everybody felt when it released was immeasurable. Now when I look at the timeline, Halo 4 launched 2012, probably a year of DLC into 2013 when the Xbox One came out. Then MCC launched 2014, and then Halo 5 2015. Now if they needed years to get this game where it needed to be, they needed a lot more time. And Halo 5 had such a long life cycle, 5+ years. In hindsight, I guess hindsight is 2020, Microsoft should have let MCC live for another couple years, and Halo 5 launches a couple years later, and most of these issues would have been negated. Thankfully, Halo 5 had pretty minimal issues, aside from the gameplay reception, if you liked it, if you hated it. But in terms of content, Halo 5 had heaps of content, and for the first year, had monthly huge updates to the game, which were really fun to play. It makes me happy that 343 went back and fixed the game now, because it is a really good game now. I would say arguably, it's one of the best collections of games you can get for the money. Hundreds of multiplayer maps, thousands of hours of entertainment, and it's like $10 when it's on sale. And the silver lining of all of this is I think the same thing is going to happen to Halo Infinite. The updates it has received between launch and now, we're finally starting to see the potential of what Halo Infinite can offer, and it's just going to get better with time. Even Halo MCC is going to have some new updates coming out soon. Once 343 is ready to share them, they're going to have a new content update, so the Master Chief Collection is still going to have new stuff coming to it. I hope whichever game comes next, I think it's the Battle Royale by Certain Affinity. Microsoft, I really hope you guys don't rush it out the door. It needs to be perfect. I don't think you guys can afford to have another AAA title flop after Redfall, because that was terrible. But hopefully for you guys watching this video, it gives you some sort of insight as to why the MCC launched the way it did, why it had so many issues, and why it's probably not 343's fault as much as it is Microsoft's, as they clearly launched a game that just wasn't ready. With all of that said, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.